Hi everyone and welcome back to the S&P Saga, your weekly recap of the S&P 500 index. We'll reveal the winners and losers that drove 46% of the index performance, which companies will announce earnings next week, and our predictions. This week mostly saw tech and healthcare go up, but consumer defensive companies and Tesla took a hit. If you're new to our channel, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to understand which individual stocks impact the S&P 500. Let's jump right into this week's review. The S&P 500 closed the week at 6,036 cents, up 1.5% from last week and adding 788 billion of market cap. The PE ratio, based on current price and latest earnings, stands at 28.63, up 0.48 points since last week. Let's go to your gainers. Nvidia is up 160.8 billion or 4.9% on no specific news. Meta, or Facebook, up 126.3 billion or 7.8% on reports of a new AI-powered ad automation initiative. Amazon is up 90.9 billion or 4.2% over its 10 billion AI data center investment in North Carolina in the US. Microsoft is up 74.5 billion or 2.2% on no specific news. Apple up 45.9 billion or 1.5% on no specific news as well. Lilly is up 30.5 billion or 4.4% as the company announced a deal to manufacture long-acting versions of its pharma obesity and diabetes drug. Alphabet, or Google, up 25.1 billion or 1.2% on no specific news. Oracle is up 23.8 billion or 5.1% as investors anticipate earnings next week. Broadcom up 22.9 billion or 2% as the company reported slightly better than expected earnings and guidance. And finally, Micron up 15.8 billion or 14.9% following analyst upgrades at Mizuho and UBS. Moving on to your losers. Tesla is down 165.3 billion or 14.8% following a public feud between CEO Elon Musk and President Donald Trump over tax policies on X and Truth Social. Berkshire Hathaway down 22.5 billion or 2.1% on no specific news. Procter & Gamble down 13.8 billion or 3.5% as the company announced plans to cut up to 7,000 jobs, about 15% of its non-manufacturing workforce, over the next 2 years as part of a restructuring effort to counteract rising costs and softening customer demand. Costco down 11.2 billion or 2.4% on reporting that May sales were lower than April. Walmart down 10 billion or 1.2% after announcing that it expanded its drone delivery service to 100 additional stores across 5 US cities. Palantir down 9.6 billion or 3.1% on no specific news. Lululemon down 6.3 billion or 16.4% after the company cut its full-year earnings guidance because of tariff pressures and economic slowdown fears. CME Group down 5.3 billion or 5.1% on no specific news. Arthur Gallagher down 4.8 billion or 5.4% after announcing the acquisition of Wilkins & Associates. And finally, Boston Scientific down 4.7 billion or 3% on no specific news. This week, there were no changes announced to the S&P 500. Q1 2025 earnings seasons are behind us, with 7 members releasing earnings last week and no companies left to report. 3 S&P 500 members will release earnings during the week ending June 30th, 2025. And the most interesting will be Oracle on June 11th and Adobe on June 12th. And now our monthly predictions. Once a month, we're covering S&P 500 members that we believe will outperform the index over the next 6 months. First, Halliburton, up 5% since we announced it on May 30th and down over the past year on declining oil prices, new US tariff impacting supply chains, and weaker demand in key markets like North America and Latin America. Norwegian Cruise Line, up 11% since we announced it on May 30th and unchanged over the past year. And finally, Expedia Group, up 6% since we announced it on May 30th and up over the past year, has been facing challenges due to weakened US travel demand, leading to a downward revision of its full-year booking growth forecast. Which company do you think will top the list next week and why? Let us know in the comments below and subscribe to our weekly updates. To find out why Nvidia and Apple were up last week, you should watch this video next.